Okay, I am back. Thank you everyone for your attendance and your patience. Again, this is Matt with Vetter Software. Today's office hours session will cover email templates, email default templates, and the way to work with them and improve the messaging that comes from your clinic. The session is being recorded right now. It will be available in the customer community a little later today. While I have you guys here, speaking to the customer community, you may have noticed I've started archiving past office hours sessions. Office hours started last March of 2017, and there are just too many of them, right? If you ever went to the list and scrolled, you ended up scrolling forever. So they're archived all the way through, I believe, May of 2018 so far, and I'm going to keep archiving them so that only the last 6 to 8 weeks are visible in whatever the live or current office hours folder. And what I'm doing in the archives is I'm only saving, I would say, quote unquote, the most relevant sessions. A session that reviewed a new feature from April 2017, which is no longer a new feature, I didn't archive those just simply as a matter of space and accessibility. Also, I've probably done 6 or 7 different inventory office hours. No need to have all of them, right? I can always call and take a few out. So just if you start to look in the customer community, there's an archive section. You may wonder, hey, how come he's missing this date or that date? Why isn't it there? It's just a matter of trying to be efficient and only have the most relevant videos up there. Okay? Thank you for understanding. So I've shared the screen, and let me go ahead and get started right now. If you have questions, please send them in via chat. And at the very end of the session, we'll unmic people, and they can feel free to ask me if your question hasn't been answered yet. I'll stop every few minutes to check the chat questions, read them out loud, and then address them the best I can. So today, we're going to start off, we're going to look at email templates, and they are found in Settings. Okay, and under Configuration, right here, little pull-down tab, you'll see it's called Email Defaults, actually. And take a look here. Vetter sends out 15 different emails, okay, for a variety of things that you would send from Vetter, be they an appointment confirmation to an invoice to your monthly statement. You get the idea. They're all right here, okay? And one that you'll note, some of you may notice is missing, is a receipt. And because clinics have written in and saying, hey, an invoice is not the same as a receipt. When they mail an invoice to someone, and if it's paid, they'd like it for it to be a receipt. We are adding that. It's supposed to be added in September. We'll add a email default for the receipt. Okay. But as you can see right here, every email that can conceivably come from Vetter is already set to a system default. Okay. But you have the option to change the system default to an email of your choice, right? And that is very simply done by hitting the little pencil right here, icon, and then choosing, do I want the system default, or do I want one of these many options? And these are coming from my letter templates, because in my letter templates, I am able then to create, I want a different appointment confirmation email or appointment reminder email or a checkout email, or you get the idea. So when using the system, you're probably all familiar with the system default. Look at that system default and see if this is something you want to work with. So for example, let's look at the appointment confirmation reminder emails, because those are the ones that everybody's going to see more often than anything else. All right. So we'll come here, and in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do one little thing here. I'm going to keep multiple browser tabs open just to kind of make the teaching process a little easier. So I'll keep email defaults open here. I'm going to open up another browser tab. Well, how do I do that? When my cursor, notice the arrow becomes a hand, that's Vetter kind of hinting you, hey, this is something you should click on. I can right click or hold down the command key and press enter, right? The command is specific to your device. And I have the schedule here. And just because I like working left to right, I can also grab the browser tab and move it right here. And so now I have my email defaults page here. I'm going to be looking at appointment, confirmation, and reminders. And here is my schedule. So if I come here, I make an appointment, and I'm just going to put in, let's say, exam. And we'll say we'll do an whoops, actually, let me use a different one. Mr. Gargamel and his pet Azrael from the Smurfs. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to hit next. And now we come here. Okay, so this is the appointment confirmation email, right? Now, what's interesting, first thing you'll notice here is it's, okay, look, granted I have a cartoon character and I called him Mr. Gargamel, but the confirmation email only captures, as is the appointment confirmation email, they only capture the client's first name, right? Maybe you don't want that. Maybe, instead of Joe Smith, you wanted to say Dear Joe Smith or Dear Mr. Smith, right? Maybe you prefer different nomenclature, right? So here it's only capturing the first name. In my case, I realize no one's first name is Mr., but it's just how he's exists in the account. And then you see the basic default information, right? And it does the job. It does exactly what you need it to do. But, maybe you wanted to say, with messaging that, hey, it's a certain time of year. We'd like to wish all of you a Merry Christmas, or, hey, welcome, spring is upon us. 10% off on, vaccines, etc. You can also use these for marketing. So right now we're using the default, okay? And they pretty much say the same thing. And I'm going to grab one of these just so I kind of have what's there that I can work with, okay? I'm just going to copy it. And now I'm going to jump back to here. And let's say I want to change that confirmation email right here. Okay, I already have one built, right? But let's build one from scratch. I'm going to go to templates. It's going to be a letter template. I'm going to hit a new template. Let's call it appointment confirmation email. And it'll be a letter, and I come to here. Okay. So, and now I have a blank screen. Now, if you're going to work with this and change the default, obviously you can work from scratch, or I can kind of cheat a little bit, and just paste in what I have so I can see what the old model used to be. All right. Now, I'm going to, I think it's a good idea to always title it. So that's easier for me to distinguish. I'm going to call it here. Boom. Now, we don't need a date because it's going to be sent out the day you built it. And I have here Dear. So right now it's working off the owner first name. Excuse me, sorry. Had a cough here. Now, it's not easy to say Mr. or Mrs., right? Because the software does not distinguish yet between sex. So maybe I just want to say first name, comma, last name. Entirely up to you, right? But I'd like to put that in there. We are looking forward to seeing, and now this is how I can keep, here's what you have to understand. When I want to customize this, I could keep you in there, right? But the pet, it doesn't know what the pet is, right? So you're going to put the pet's name in here using, right, our formatting options. And this is called mail merge. It's what you essentially give it a command and it merges in the data when it's in the right place in the software. And I'm going to say, Azrael, we're looking forward to seeing you and patient on, okay, the specific date, right? Now here, the appointment confirmation email, the way it works, you don't have to put in necessarily, you don't have to put in the date. I'm sorry, you have to go ahead and you have to put in the date. I'm sorry, sorry about that. I don't know what I was stuttering here. And I'm gonna go to here, and I'm gonna now suddenly make this date, right, at time, because we don't want to lose that command. And if you need to reschedule your appointment, right, you can have to say whatever you wish, okay? And thank you. And I'm going to put in here the clinic information, and boom, okay? Something as simple as this. Now, I can be even more dramatic, and I can start to talk, make these for the seasons. I can have an appointment confirmation email, spring, summer, fall, right? Maybe it's fall. Then I say, hey, as your kids are getting, we're offering a back to school special. We're also offering a back to school special. What that has to do with veterinarians is not entirely clear, but I do know from a marketing perspective, every business out there finds a way to use back to school to market things. We're also offering a back to school special if you bring in a second pet. I don't know. You get the idea, right? Something along those lines. And let's just say I go ahead and I save this here, okay? Now, I'm going to very quickly, I'm going to cheat here because I already written one of these up. And I'm going to go back to my template, email defaults. And now notice here under appointment confirmation, I could choose. I see I've already written one up, and I just want to make certain I haven't changed anything too much here. And I can choose these and drop these in. Okay, so give me a brief moment here while I cheat, and I just want to see, I want to make sure I haven't screwed anything up in the system here. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, now looks like I haven't screwed anything up here. Good. So I'm going to come back to here to my settings, and boom, boom, boom. And sorry, come back to here, configurations, and email defaults. And I'm now going to go ahead, I'm going to drop in that new one we made. Instead of the system default, I'm going to use this one. I hit save. Now let's hope I've done this right. Here's the big test, right? And I'm going to close out of this here. And I'm going to make a new appointment. Okay. And I come to here. Let's call it an exam. Client name. Here's our friend, Mr. Gargamel, and the patient Azrael. And I hit next. I hit next. Right. And then here we are, appointment confirmation email. Awesome. And obviously the back to school special, right, doesn't necessarily apply here in this case, but I always advise clinics, make seasonal emails. Take every opportunity when you're communicating with someone to go ahead and either give them an educational message about, hey, it's flea and tick season, or what I understand right now on the East Coast, there's a brand new tick that's even more pervasive and pernicious and persistent, right, than the existing ticks. And maybe use this as a, hey, as a quick 2 lines about education. Bring your animal in. Make sure he hasn't been exposed to the latest, tick outbreak. Or like I said, it's a marketing special, and maybe it's just Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Like to take these opportunities here. Hey, we're opening up a new clinic. We're expanding clinic hours. An email confirmation doesn't have to just be a confirmation. Now, over here, for example, with the appointment reminder, appointment reminders tend to be more important because here I might want to say things, for example, and I'm going to use the one that I've already made. Appointment reminder email. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, kill that one and do it again. And I come to here, and we got the exam. and my client, and patient, next, next. And now you notice I have both of them here, right? And as you can see, I wanted to put the first name and last name. And again, this is entirely up to you. And notice what I put here. I added more clinic information. Please be sure to arrive 15 minutes early to fill out necessary paperwork. And that's clinic specific. Or maybe if you have drop-offs. Our drop-offs begin at 8:30 a.m. Anything you want the client to know, you can include in these messages. It's fairly straightforward, fairly, I think, really easy to use. Most clinics, though, just aren't aware of this feature. Let me pause for a moment here and see if there's any questions. Okay, doing well. This is fairly straightforward here. Now, there is one other thing I'd like to have you explore, or want to explore and discuss. Now, some clinics have asked us, hey, can I have appointment-specific email confirmations generated or reminders generated? In other words, I have a spay-neuter appointment. I have a euthanasia appointment. I have a surgery appointment, what have you. And I want to convey different messages to clients for the different appointments. And that's it's a noble quest or noble ask, and I think it's very useful. But then clinics have said, well, hey, I can only make the one email template inside of Vetter for an appointment reminder. But my clinic does 5 different types of surgeries. Maybe it's an ophthalmic surgery that requires special care instructions. And they want to avoid having to send a letter out, right? A separate letter for every appointment. They want to make it efficient. And they've said, hey, is it possible to do this inside of Vetter? Not now. It's not possible. But what we've trained some clinics to do is and it is a little extra work. But you could, for the appointment reminders, create different emails. You could say regular appointment reminder email. And by the way, you don't have to include the title here, right? So I put this in here just for demo purposes. You don't have to include this title, right? So clients get this. They're not all freaked out. And how do I remove that very quickly? Let me show you this here. How do I remove this quickly? I come to here, right? And I have the title. And the title is nice for when I see it as a visual confirmation. But once you get used to things, right, you don't need to have that there. And if letter title simply comes from here, right there, and I could just delete this, right? But also, let's say, for example, one was normal appointment confirmation email. Another one was surgical appointment confirmation email. You would create multiple appointment confirmation emails. And I realize it's a few extra clicks, but some of our clinics do this. They've gotten their staff trained in saying, hey, whenever we schedule this type of an appointment, I need you to quickly jump into settings right here. And this is the reason why I made, by the way, 2 appointment confirmation emails. I need you to jump into settings here really quickly and switch up the email. Now, granted, mine are not very sophisticated. One is abbreviated, right? One's not. But you get the idea. And so if I'm counting in terms of clicks and I make an appointment here and I suddenly, I want to make an appointment and I realize, gosh, this is the special surgical appointment, right? Surgery. Boom. Gargamel. And these are all the same amount of clicks. And again, it's all up to the clinic, but I'm just trying to show ways that you can still get different information out while being efficient, okay? And I come to here, right, and normally, right, I have that one extra click to hit save. But let's just say, hey, I want to change this up. So just understand, hey, this is going to be a surgery, right? I come to here, right? I come to surgery. And I suddenly realize, oops, I need to change this up. And for your staff, a little trick is keep the extra browser tab open. Coming back to it, this is why I started it off like this. Keep this open and watch. Okay, You know what? It's that surgical email. And you're really just going to have a couple of these open. This is the only place where you're really going to use different types of messaging. You're not going to use different messaging for an estimate or a medical note. Hey, here's, Fluffy's medical note from today. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But these are the most likely. And I come to here, and I already have an extra browser tab open, so it's not an extra click. And all I'm doing is this, right? 1 click, 2 clicks, 3. And those are very short, little clicking. That's not a lot required. And now if I come forward and, right, I do the rest, and, right, I'm right back into being, what the normal pattern is right here. Oops, I forgot. I have to actually set that before I start the appointment. Oops, my mistake. Let me do this. I have to do that before I set the appointment. My error. And I go surgery, right? Boom, Gargamel, Azrael, next, and did I select the right, Oh yeah, I'd remove the title and everything like that. So that's okay. I'd remove the title and everything on that other one. So I wanted to see, here's the regular one. And all I need to do is, right, just do 2 extra little clicks. I'm sorry, 3 extra clicks. So I'm doing this. I come here. I can update it. Hey, which one do I want? And that's a way to kind of say, hey, do I want a surgical appointment, right, a spay neuter, what have you. And just an idea to be able to send out different appointment confirmation and reminder emails. Sorry, it was a bit cumbersome there, but you get the idea. I'm going to check and see if there's any questions. I think this is pretty straightforward. I see one. Oops. Pressing the wrong button. I see a chat. Like the 2 windows up. Yay, Dr. Coker. So use the 2 windows there. And you can do multiple ones, right? You can have as many windows up as you wish in Vetter. Wherever that hand goes up, right, I can, look, I have reports up. And I just think it's a very handy-dandy way to manage the software. So if I do want to switch, like I said, I want to switch the emails, simply before the appointment starts, I need that email, right, the special one, just switch it out. And I realize sometimes you're going to remember, sometimes you're going to forget, but it's going to accomplish the clinic purpose of having different messages go out for different types of appointments. Other than that, this is a very straightforward feature that I recommend everyone use, right? And go ahead and, like I said, there's 15 different messages here. Look, let's be honest, on half of these, the system default, or 2/3 of them, is perfectly fine. What more are you going to say about sending a certificate, right? But like I said, the most important ones I find are the appointment confirmation and reminders, and use those as a chance for marketing, promotion, education. Simple as that. And as a one final recap, the receipt reminder, like I said, for when you're sending a receipt out, that is going to also be in the software within the next month. While we're here and speaking, one other thing, while we're speaking here of receipts and invoices and stuff, be aware in the letter templates. I don't know, I'm just going to grab the here, appointment confirmation email, even though it doesn't involve finances. Just be aware that you can also include all kinds of neat, billing information here, right? Boarding emails, right? It's going to have all this information in here too. So a lot that you can do there. If you're sending, medical note information out, including patient records and things like that, right? Understand, here's a really cool one, under patient information, including the reminders all the time. So if I am going to send a medical note out, right, I could say, hey, attach this Fluffy's medical note, please see, boom, patient reminders. And it's going to give all the reminders right there. So speaking of education and compliance, here's a great way to get this into the appointment. I mean, you can go to an extreme and say, and I know this would be a long for an appointment reminder email. We've also included, right, patient name, apostrophe S, reminders. So I can do a lot in the way of education. Now, like I said, that's a lot to put in an appointment confirmation, but conceivably, right, I come and do this. Don't let me down here. Let's see if I have any. I better have reminders for the poor animal. But I seem to have done, I'm sorry, I seem to have done something amiss here. Sorry, this might be a little user error here. Let me go back to here. It might have been me refreshing and not refreshing properly. I apologize. I wonder why. I want to make certain that popped up. Please bear with me here. Appointment confirmation email. Oh, it was this one. Oops, sorry. That was the one I think I just built. Yeah, see? It always tends to come down to user error in the end. Right, now look, this is, so sorry, that was a straight up user error. I forgot to choose the right one. Now, of course, this is a lot for an appointment confirmation email reminder, but look, I even can include the reminders, right? And this is, I'm sorry, so it's just sorry for the little flip up there by me, but this is just, it's another way that you can use the software's features to really improve client communication, right? And client compliance. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to check and see if there's any questions. If you want to unmute yourself, anyone, and ask me, please feel free. Okay? But while you're deciding whether to ask, the ability here to throw the reminders in, and again, my apologies for the clumsy way I did that, is another way of, hey, I can use any kind of communication to remind my clients about what is needed and what's important. Okay? And so there's a lot there at your disposal. Please, right, take advantage of it. Any other questions? Please feel free, like I said, to unmute yourself. I assume it's pretty straightforward. I'm checking for chat questions. Doesn't look like we have anything else. Like I said, the session is recorded and will be available in the customer community later today. Again, this is Matt with Vetter Software, and I wish you all a great rest of the day. Okay? Thank you very much, and take care. Bye-bye.